Tim's favorite faction playing Resistance. We've got Maui! And it's funny, we have 66 subscribers right now, so I think that is an omen. If I've ever seen one, that's logic right there. That makes sense.
Good sign.
It's a good sign. All right, so I'll do first order super quick. Jammin with the Ketaris Foxes is rocking Midnight with Fanatical and Advanced Optics. Midnight making more appearances because Midnight's only 3 points now, and it has been for a bit, but good value at I6, of course, with a pretty good ability as well. We've got Kylo, and with Compassion, Malice, Predator, Deuterium Power Cells, and Enhanced Jamming Suite. Yet another version of Kylo without missiles, so relying on lining up Bullseye and his jamming tech to do that damage. Malice, of course, is still very good, and regen will keep him alive. We got Commander Malice with Mag Pulse warheads this time instead of cluster missiles, coming in handy here with lower agility ships that deplete, jam, and crit. Can definitely pay dividends in a game. We're not done though, folks. Actually, I got 3 more ships here. I'm exhausted. We've got Lieutenant Gaelic with Fanatical and Heavy Laser Cannon. Gaelic at I5, good value as well. 3-point tie FO. We've got Scorchy Boy with Advanced Optics and Bomblet Generator. All right. He's got the Pillow Bomb. Scorch, of course, can gain that stress if he's not stressed to roll an additional attack die. And then lastly, in the Bomber, nice to see the Bomber get some play in a pilot we don't see very often. We've got Dread at Initiative 3 with Advanced Optics, Bomblet Generator, and Delayed Fuses. That is a big, long FO list. Lots going on there.
I need to point something out, Nick. I don't want to say you're wrong, but I need you to read Scorch's ability for me. Because it is not the same as the FO.
Oh, you know what? I just assumed it was the TIE FO, the same price.
How would the TIE FO have Bomblet Generator? What are you doing?
I don't know. Now it makes more sense.
Use that big old noggin. You got it.
I didn't know that there was that Scorch in the Bomber was 3 points. So I think I just looked at the points and
I think he dropped recently. I think a lot of the Bombers did.
Yeah. Well, I would like to imagine a TIE FO carrying Bomblet Generator is what happened there. The Scorch, we got 2 bombers. We got 2 bombers, not just one. Thanks for pointing that out. There are 2 bombers, not just one, in this list. 2 bombers with Bomblet Generator. And now for you to read off Maui's list and hope you don't make any mistakes, because I'm sure I'll miss it and fail to point it out.
I better not. All right, here we go. Maui's probably favorite Resistance pilot leads us off here. It's Mr. Han Solo, carrying Ray, Gunner, and false transponder codes. Han, of course, in the Resistance Falcon can start anywhere in the board, which is why he is banned in standard play, but not here in Extended Land, where we get to have fun with some of these lesser seen ships. Next, we get everyone's favorite trigger-happy flyboy, Poe Dameron. With a pretty standard Poe Dameron build, he's got Heroic R4, Ferrosphere Paint, Proton, Torpedoes, Munitions Failsafe, Overdrive Thrusters, and Black One.
That's enough upgrades.
You better hope you have enough table space with this ship.
Yeah, seriously.
Because that's a lot of upgrades in that.
Just a bit.
And one of them is 12 points. Next, we've got Lulo Lampar, the I5 RZ2. He's rocking Marksmanship, Heroic, and a Shield upgrade, which I believe leaves 1 point unaccounted for, oddly enough, but 2-point talents are hard to find nowadays. And last but not least, or least in some people's assumptions at least, is Mr. Jarek Yeager. He's too old for this, but he's got concussion missiles, overtune modulators, targeting computer, and Kaz's fireball. We see a lot of high initiative here on the board. You know, FO is really known for that high I5 list. Maui doing what he can to try to combat that and not get initiative killed. His lowest initiative is a 5, and he's got 2 of those. So we'll see what he can do.
That is Jarek. Yep. Higher initiatives can be very, very strong in the current meta. I just realized that for some reason it seems like betting kind of got glitched out. I see people in the chat were betting successfully, but then when I look at the betting, it says nobody's bet. So we're going to cancel this, refresh, and start betting one more time. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, we got a couple of bets in. Betting should be reopened and working properly. You got 15 minutes left, plenty of time. Let's fix the dice.
Said it's never bet against the Foxes here, and I don't disagree. I think it's hard to bet against Jammin in general, but especially Jammin with a big FO list.
Yep, Jammin has got a great track record.
No silencers though. He's known for being a big silencer guy, and we don't have a single silencer on the board here. certainly unusual for him.
So now it says betting has been canceled and everyone has been refunded, and that's what I'm just gonna. There we go.
Maybe it was just like a slight delay on that one. Hey, I'm seeing chat going. Looks like we're getting some bets.
Yeah,
now.
bets are working now. Sorry guys. Don't Cloudbot doing its thing. It's a free service. I can't complain too much.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right.
And
Andrew Oler saying hello in the chat earlier. I don't want him to think I would ever ghost him. What's up, man?
He's the oil baron here to root on his player, Maui Mike Beard.
He's got to crush your enemies, grind their bones into dirt.
Yeah.
Make them regret they
Tear
were
up
ever
their
born.
schools, turn them into oil refineries, you know?
Great SNL sketch. Shoko is commenting on the fact that you are his captain. That is a factual statement.
That's true. I am Shoko's captain for a second consecutive season. I traded for Mr. Shoko last season and was a great trade. Greatly enjoyed him on my team.
Shoko also donated $50 to help Tanner and his family, which was very generous of him.
What a homie.
So thank you. An absolute homie. And Tecumseh Sherman coming in hot with not only the takes, the jokes, but also the sub. Thank you very much. We are setting our dials. 50 months is
that's shorter
over
than that's longer than his march to the sea.
It's true.
I think. I don't know. I don't know how long
15 months. If you were to take every month and make it an equivalent of how many fans are at White Sox games these days, that would be probably 14 more than fans that are at games these days. So
I can see that. Yeah, I don't know what those are. I'm just getting I don't know what Charlie has against me, man. Every so often, like Charlie just starts roasting me. Like, I don't know what I did to Charlie. I'm a noted.
It's like what I did to you, or you like roast the hell out of me, dude. I'm on a spit constantly when it comes to.
I'm very specifically pro union. I mean, both in terms of like actual unions, but like the USA. Like I definitely am anti-Confederacy. So,
dude, leave the White Sox alone. I can't, man. Their slander was brutal for a while from them, so it's just it's karma. Although the Cubs lost 2 out of 3 to the Colorado Rockies this series, so I think I'm probably getting some karma as well.
It's fine. The Sox probably won't even be in Chicago next year.
I hope not, dude. I hope they don't leave. That would be.
They better not leave. It's 100 years of freaking history, man. Come on.
Yeah, that would be.
I think I told you this in chat. I think Reinsdorf is just trying to bait Chicago into giving a better, like a sweetheart deal.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's such a cheap ass.
Yeah, I mean, he wants that for the Bulls too. Like he's made overtures on them of like, well, I don't know, maybe the Bulls need to move elsewhere too. And it's like, come on, man, you're just looking for that sweetheart deal.
Yeah, he should sell is what he should do.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Sox move to like a different burb, like move more towards the suburbs or something.
Yeah, it's gotta be a south suburb.
I think that well, I don't know. You can go west or east.
Yeah, but not the south. You gotta say south side, man. South side.
I know.
Suburb side.
It's all about the money, you know.
Flying the mighty. Vince, thank you for the gifted sub. Gifting one to Andrew, who heartbreaking to see. Not subscribed. Oh.
Didn't make the cut. He's got all that oil money, and he couldn't even spare $5.
I know. It's just a greedy bastard. Oof. It's only $5, as they say.
Only $5.
Only $5.
But no, I mean, we're seeing MLB teams move closer to the suburbs, where that's where, like, they get more people going when they're closer to there, all that good stuff.
Didn't the Braves kind of move to a more suburban area?
They did. When we were there, they moved from, and it's, I don't know. I don't love the Braves stadium. Truist Park is very corporate.
Yeah.
And if you like corporate stadiums and like big, very nice sanitized ones, you will love it. And if you like kind of the, older, more like smaller, more charming parks, you will not. I am not a big fan of Truist Park. I've only been there a couple times. It is fine. It's just not what I want to go to when I go to a baseball game, It just, again, everything feels so corporate there.
Mighty Southside Bandits gets a gifted sub. That's very ironic, considering what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a fact.
What? Thank you, Mike, for the gifted sub. Appreciate that. The
Braves are like 45 minutes outside the city now, depending on traffic. I think it's only like 20 miles, but Atlanta traffic's a nightmare. I don't know. It's, again, baseball, sports teams in general have started to make overtures that they're doing that. So
yep.
The Battery, I will admit, they have a whole like little shopping district around the Brave Stadium, which is pretty nice. You've got some nice restaurants, some of the whitest stores you've ever seen in your life. Have you ever been to a Sugar Boo & Co?
No.
Do you know what that is?
Sugar Boo and Co. Ooh.
Allow me to elucidate you and educate you on the horror that is Sugar Boo and Co. It is a store that is, if you distilled the like southern rustic chic style of like decoration and architecture into a single horrific entity, it would be Sugar Boo and Co. You think those like, sliding barn doors for your bathrooms in your house, and all like the sign with like a little farm animal on it, like, bless our mess, whatever. These things that you'd see in the big suburbs, and like no one who's ever been on a farm in their life would put up in their house. That is the aesthetic of Sugar Boo and Co. It is my worst nightmare. I
gotta look this up.
Despise it. It's a horrid place. I mean, it's fine. It's like an average, like, it's a home goods directed at the southern chic market, but it is just like, ugh, I hate going in there.
Sugar Boo and Co.
Sugar Boo
and no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're ready to rock and roll here. Turn 1 is about to commence in this heavyweight matchup. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Pim, for joining me.
Oh yeah,
feel just slightly less, 5% less lonely now that you have.
Oh, only 5%. That's not great for me, but all right.
That's not good. You're fighting some demons.
Doesn't seem great, but we'll roll with it.
We take what you can get.
We'll take what we can get.
That's right.
Sherman wants me to talk about the game. All right, I'll talk about this game. I think, we see the FO is doing a system phase boost and shooting in, trying to take advantage of Hans a little bit outside of deployment. He didn't fully utilize his ability to try to go in the middle of the board or whatever. But he's maybe a risk here if he decides to turn towards the bombers. He can be taking a couple shots for free, which he doesn't want. I think the FO has a slight advantage here. They have more ships. How do I put it? They obviously have more ships, but they also have more like ships when it comes to counting for assault, right?
Yep.
Because Han counts for 2, so you can say the effective ship count for resistance right now is 5.
Is likely to contest, yeah.
But with 6 ships, you have 1 more than that, obviously. That gives you a little bit of an advantage when it comes to just playing the objective game. All of these ships can be hard to hit. The bombers will go down faster than the rest, but with the Whispers and the FO's green dice hold up, Resistance is going to have a hard time being able to do damage to them. Lulo has to be very careful when it comes to this game because they are facing a bunch of other I5s and S6.
Yep.
And they can go down really fast when you get stressed. Road is going to be huge for Lulo. I think Jarek's a big target that may die pretty quick. You just want to trade up with him.
Yeah, this is
Poe needs to be an anvil.
I gotta be honest, this is a rough matchup for Resistance. The more I think about it, I think this is, on paper, Maui. I mean, again, both players are good, and you never know. Yes. But on paper, I don't think Maui should win this game, but we will see.
Yeah, purely if you match these up without equal player skill, I think, or equal player. Let me rephrase that. I don't like the phrase equal player skill because I think that I don't want to pass judgment on either of these players. They're both very good. I think if neither player makes mistakes, right? I think that the FO list is a slight advantage just because of the fact that it has a little more firepower and a little more survivability. Yeah. That said, if the Resistance can spike a little bit with damage and just play really cagey, they can hold out. Like Han's going to need to really make use of his boost action, which is red, unfortunately for him.
Yep. And they have a red rotate as well.
Yeah, that is the bad thing about the Resistance Falcon. It gets a red rotate instead of the white one, which isn't ideal. You really have to make good use of your pathing here, which I think Maui is already in a good position to do so. A 3 bank next turn gives you a little bit of rock coverage, and probably a good broadside in one of the FOs, or you can try to boost around that rock and get out of things.
Yeah, I think 3 bank is probably still dealing with getting shot 3 to 4 times. At least
you may just want a 3 straight here and try to clip one at range 3. I think Han's game is going to be staying at range 3, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's I don't Resistance Han is cheap, but he doesn't really do much for me. I don't know.
With only 15 loadout, there's not a whole lot he could do. Some of the builds I like include putting 3PO on him, right? So you get that I6 coordinate. and he still gets like a calculate. Unfortunately, you can't fit 3PO and Ray at 6, which is probably fine, but his offense is a little bit neutered with that. But someone last season was running, I think, Triple Falcon. Maybe it was Jammin. I don't remember. He definitely has at least at one point. But I've seen like a hotshot gunner on Han, which is pretty good. Try to make them spend a focus or evade, even though they may not need it.
Just showing you guys the standings early on in this week as we're a few days in. Nobody has secured a series decision yet, but as you can see where everybody is, Firebirds, Hotshots, Mega Milk Union, 5 straight boosts are all at the top with 4 points respectively. Nobody has lost 2 series through the first 2 weeks, so that's another thing to look out is how many draws are we drawing the next 4 to 5 weeks. That will shake up a lot.
A big theme of draft leagues so far has been how consistent all the teams have been when it comes to like quality of player and matchups, right?
Mm-hmm.
With a few exceptions here and there, but like these players are all very, very talented in all regards, right? And it shows when it comes to the matchups of how close and tight the races can be going into the home stretch. We'll see if that remains the case, but right now it seems like it is after 2 weeks. Not a lot of games played this week though so far. Only a couple in each series. We're up right now 2-0 on the Firebirds. I think there's one more tonight being played, but I'm not sure. I've heard that one may have been rescheduled. I'm not sure.
You said you're up 2-0. Uh-oh, Andre,
what
are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
We're at home, so I got to set the matchups, but I was able to beat Ollie. Both of us playing Rebels.
I've never heard of him. I don't know who that is.
Well, Rebel Mirror match was pretty tough, but he's okay. And then last night, Kat beat Andre on stream.
Wow!
Very
That's
close.
Awesome. It's also terrible, but awesome.
I highly recommend watching that game back once it's on. I think it's on YouTube now. It's a very good match, but Andre played pretty. I think both players played pretty well, I should say.
Yeah,
but
Andre knows how to play this game. Don't tell him.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, he's in the chat. Damn.
Bringing good tech. Hey, you got to do some scouting. It's draft league. You got to take every advantage you can get. Jammin doing a really good job so far of being able to manage
his
these.
deployment is just so good.
Keeping these ships boosting in formation.
Oh, look at that!
A little difficult.
That just blocks the 3 bank. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a 3 straight here is probably the best Han can do. I think a 3 straight would contest both the center and the top right objective.
Do you oppose the 3 bank here? Because that's one less shot. You wouldn't get shot by Dread, and then you can take a decent range 1 shot in the bomber.
I mean, it depends where Gaelic goes, right?
This is
an HLC Gaelic. It could be a little spooky.
I don't know if Gaelic will be able to line up the bullseye on Han.
If he 3 banks and Han 3 banks, I think it snags it. Or if he 2 banks, rather, I should say. I think a 2 bank and a 3 bank out of.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Han, yeah,
takes a lot.
I have been getting. I really like HLC. I'm a huge HLC fan wherever I can put it right now.
You're a big proponent of HLC Poe, right?
Oh, I have been since Gen Con last year. I mean, I would take Ferrosphere and Failsafe off with this. I think he needs one more upgrade off now because it's 5 points for HLC. Maybe? I don't know. I was a huge proponent of HLC Poe, and I still am if he can get it to fit. But HLC Snap right now is so much fun. Give him the R68 droid so he gets some bullseye rerolls for it. And just use his ability to boost and then focus roll if you need to, just to line up bullseyes and really keep that arc wide.
Oh, Han does.
I think
the 3 straight.
I think you're out of Gaelic. I think you're out of Gaelic bullseye right there. Yeah, that feels like it's out of Gaelic.
Yeah, I don't think
bullseye.
range 3 bullseye touches.
I think you're okay with that because you're, like I said, you're contesting 2 objectives right now: the middle and the one that Poe just moved to.
Maybe 1 bank. You could try to just PS.
I was expecting the 1 bank too, but I think
a little tough now. Han's not getting the support. I mean, he could boost.
Well, you could maybe snag Mal, but it's probably a waste. But you could at least scare her, right?
I think it's a way. I think Dread is the one that you should try to.
Ideally you kill Dread before he can start using that ability and making those bombets a lot scarier. But if you lock Mal and then focus, nope, he's gonna lock Scorch. Interesting.
Okay, Scorch is not at range 1 of Han. Dread is, and
well, He's just going to sit there. I think he's setting up for a 2 hard next turn, which maybe seems a little predictable. We saw Lulo play it pretty safe here, too, with that soft move. Just a little bank left, not boosting. Just staying near the objective and letting the FO come to him.
Looks like it's going to be 2-2 in terms of objective points after this, assuming Han horrible doesn't happen.
Yeah. If Mal may not be contesting that middle one, it's very close. There's a chance Resistance gets it 3
it might be
2 here. I don't think it's a... I'm not sure if it's a great chance, but Resistance needs all the objective points they can get right now with this matchup, so I think that's what you're hoping for.
Poe doesn't... unfortunately, Poe doesn't even have a single shot. Yeah, so here goes Han, going into Dread.
Yeah, range 1 shot. Take it.
And you have
Focus and Ray, which is pretty good odds of getting at least 3.
Ouch.
That is 3 if you want it. If you spend both, you get 3. If you...
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, he's got a target lock. I'm sorry. I thought he focused.
But I don't think he was rolling. That lock is on.
No. Why did he flip false transponders? Who took a lock on him? Oh, Gaylor took a lock on him. That's right.
To pop it, yeah.
Yeah, Gaylor took a lock. It popped it. Yeah. That is the issue with transponders. That sometimes they just get counterplayed and you don't get much say about it.
Yeah, I never was a huge fan of false transponder codes as an upgrade, so I'm kind of indifferent.
I think they're good on some pilots.
Yeah, more so just like what they do. For a while, they were very good. I think now they are not nearly. You don't even see them much anymore.
Well, I think at 5 points it's much harder to justify.
Yeah, absolutely.
Han didn't spend the focus or the force here. He's going just to try to stay alive, which I think is probably fair.
So no damage taken. I don't think.
No, that was 1 of 8 on Dread. Spend the focus when you got it for Han. Yeah. With Ray Gunner, it's a weird thing of you kind of want to spend that focus while you have it, since Ray's the guaranteed evade.
There's 2. Han, it is obstructed. Han is going to take 1.
He could Ray.
Oh
no. I'm sorry. Mal didn't use her ability. Excuse me.
So nothing.
He doesn't need to Ray. Yeah, nothing there. Here's the big shots here coming from Scorch and from Dread.
Now I'm also worried about where Han's going to be. He's going to be kind of in the way as well for Poe. We'll see.
Yeah, just go ahead and Ray here, take a shield. I think Han could do a... Can he straight? Is he going to hit that rock to the right? Probably hits the rock to the right. At 3?
Is that 3 or 2? I think it's 2.
2, just 2. There it is.
So 2 shields down. Somehow Han losing just a few shields in this opening engage, getting shot at 4 times, including a range 1 shot. It's not that bad. Mal is within the center, so it is contested in the center. So both players are going to receive 2 points.
I think Han got out of there okay. It doesn't feel great not being able to trade any damage for that, though.
I personally, yeah, the Poe just kind of being there, and I mean, sure, he got a lock for next turn, but he, I would have really loved to see the range 1, the range 1, and then the proton torpedo. I think would have
honestly,
been
I think
nice.
he was way too passive with Poe here. I think honestly, focus boost to the right towards Mal. And then next turn, either turn out towards Midnight or go straight at Kylo and try to avoid the bombers entirely, right?
The bombers are about to get up in the way as well here. Yeah. This could be a very messy turn for the I-6s on the resistance side as we enter round 3 tied. 2-2.
The big issue right now is Poe really wants to hard turn out and not go into this fray, but then that is another turn where he's not shooting, potentially 2. Right, I don't think Poe can take on these 4 ships and possibly Kylo alone. I think that's probably a mistake. Or I guess not alone to have Han, but yeah, I don't know.
Man, forgetting that Resistance Han exists, saying there is another. Which is, he should have said another, there is. But he didn't say that, he said there is another.
See, Frank Oz has been making headlines recently. And by recently, I mean just today, because I think Google has decided that or knows me and knows that I want to hear news about Frank Oz.
What's the news?
He just did an interview recently where he said that he'd love to go back to the Muppets or Sesame Street, but he hasn't been asked to, and he doesn't think he will be.
That's a bummer.
He and Disney have not gotten along since Disney bought the Muppets, and then Sesame Street hasn't asked him to come back, and they've said they've talked about this publicly about how he's too expensive.
Well,
I'm just like, it's too much money to get him there. They'd love to, but I don't know.
That's funny. I have impressions. The quality of them is certainly TBD.
It was okay.
Yoda.
Yeah, it was okay. Man, that Yoda scene in Last Jedi may be my favorite scene in Star Wars. Oh, I love it.
Honestly, The Last Jedi is probably the greatest. I mean, it makes Empire Strikes Back look like an absolute piece of shit, is what nobody should say.
Empire is a really weird Star Wars movie. You know what I mean?
Because it's actually like Loki. You know what? You want a hot take?
It's Loki good.
Well, Empire is
a good movie.
Empire is really, really good. But my hot take is that it's super boring for like an hour.
Yeah, because it's a character movie. It's not like an action movie.
It's a very well-written movie about character development, which we all needed. And it's why I still think it is like the best Star Wars movie. But it's, as a kid, man, when he got on Dagobah, I was bored. I'm so bored.
I think film-wise, it's a really good movie. It's
yeah.
Like, you might be right about it not being that exciting of a Star Wars movie, but I mean, there's a reason it's still considered the best.
Battle of Hoth, and then everything at Bespin is just so good.
Yeah, that opening sequence, right, of Hoth is so good. Yeah. And you can argue it's got
with the music, the John Williams. Empire Strikes Back is John Williams' best of the original trilogy. That's my opinion. But I'm saying it like it's best. And then I think Sith is by far I think Sith is John Williams' best of the Star Wars movies, and people are going to disagree with me on that one. But I firmly
think Attack of the Clones is, and I hate Attack of the Clones.
I think Sith has got it still.
I hate that movie. But I think it's my favorite of the Star Wars scores, to be honest. But
and it won't hear any Rogue One is awesome. You don't want people to state objective truths.
I don't like Rogue One.
Oh yeah, I forgot you don't like Rogue One because it's fun.
Rogue One has a really good third act, but the first two acts are bad.
Bad?
The first act it doesn't know what it wants to be. The second act, it finally figures out what it wants to be, but it throws it away really fast. And the third act is just like...
You're going to tell me that Solo is good, though. You're like, what are those?
I watched Solo once, didn't pay attention. Yeah, don't know if it's good, don't know if it's bad. Could be good, could be bad, don't know.
You guys want to see it AT-AT?
All right, behind him. All lit up. Django Chase score? Yeah, I mean, Django Chase score, the love theme from Attack of the Clones is legitimately a beautiful theme.
Bro. Sith.
Like,
Sith, man. Come on, the opening scene alone,
it's good.
Bro.
It's good. I'm not gonna argue.
That opening scene with that music, with the heavy drums.
Can I do extremely light spoilers for Ahsoka?
No.
Is that okay? No?
But I will say, we can say this. I needed it. I needed it.
Okay.
That's what
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna counter at you and say something anyways.
You're pissed.
No, I've enjoyed it.
I have not until the latest episode.
Well, I think Ahsoka hasn't felt like Ahsoka to the most recent episode, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of in now. But what I was gonna say is, I was watching it and I realized, so there are clones in the most recent episode, and they looked really off to me, and I was like, why do they look so off? What's weird about these clones? Till I remembered, all of the clones in the prequels are CGI, and these ones aren't, and that's why they look so weird to me. Of like,
even
what's wrong with these clones? Yes, they never made a full clone armor set for filming. Wow. Only the heads are practical, and like any of the films, Lucas was just like, I mean, he was all about CGI. That's what he wanted to do, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's what he. That's why all the clones are CGI. It's just so weird to see them not CGI'd now that I'm like, why do they look so weird to me?
It's wild that they had like 12 guys dressed up as Wookiees and they duplicated them like 20 times for the Kashyyyk scenes instead of like doing that as CGI.
It's so weird what was CGI and not.
Bumps and like but also like, is it
he's not
bad?
Yeah, I think he's kind of okay with that.
Who does he bump into? He bumps into an enemy, right?
It's friendly. It's friendly.
Oh, it's a friendly bump.
No damage.
Oh no, we have a force.
I think Last Jedi does have good music as well. I think the music that plays during the Yoda scene is one of my favorites in the whole franchise because the scene's great and the music's great. It's great.
Can I point out something that was pretty dope by Jammin?
I would
notice how Jammin swapped positions of where the bombers are now.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice.
That is genius because if he had kept them in the same order as the last round, then this double modded shot into Dread would feel bad. But because the lock is now is on Scorch and he flip-flopped them, Scorch has a range 0 defense from Poe. He can't use the lock or any mod. So super
right.
Tactical and smart by Jammin. Just to spend a moment talking about the game before we talk about things that we actually want to talk about.
How good Jammin is once again. Jammin, man.
Jammin's a smart guy.
That is really clever of a move there. Good point. Really good shout on that. All right, who does Han go into here?
I think it's Dread. You got two.
I think it has to be Dread,
shots.
Right?
Yeah, you got 2 range 1 shots. You can actually do your mods. Don't worry about Commander Malorus. And that's pretty good. That's 4 once you spend Ray's Force. There you go.
Yeah, you go full offense. You may be able to kill him here.
Hey, there you go. That's 4 going into Dread right away. And yes, absolutely a good chance to kill.
Poe needs to do 2
roll.
damage.
Yeah, he needs to do 2 damage and he needs to roll. He's hoping for 3+ paint here. He's got his red focus.
3 paint would be pretty good odds to kill.
Ouch.
You have to spend, I think. I don't think you have a choice. You have to try to go for the kill.
You gotta go for the kill and hope for another blank out. No, that's tough, man. 2 blanks.
I mean, it's not impossible. I think Han's already taken enough damage that I think Han's still the main target here. You don't have an HLC from Gaelic into you. Mal is taking the lock on Han, and she's popped her ability, which means she's probably going for that double modded shot. And Dread shoots you back, I guess, at range 1, but maybe you at least force the focus spend.
Yep. And I saw the first blank, and I almost thought that he blanked out. It takes 1.
No, it's not Luke. He's not going to double blank up 2 times in a row.
Were you watching that game where with Thane Kyrell, and I was like, come on, show me the T65 I know, and he rolls double blanks. It's like, that is the T65 I know.
That's how my game with Ollie ended, with his Luke blanking.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, classic.
It's just horrible, man.
Yeah, 4 health Luke just got...
Can't keep getting away with this.
4 health Luke just got shot by Gavin at range 1 that murdered him.
Oh, man. All right, now Lulo. Who do you go for here? What's the call?
Mal, you can't mod, so you just shoot
Kylo.
Kylo. Yeah, 3-on-3. Maybe force a force spend? Yeah, I'm spending that.
Michael, isn't that what actors usually do? Is they typically memorize most of their lines and not all of them? Or is that just like sarcasm? And a shield plinked off Wilo here on that shot from Lulo.
Is it a joke about, does he not have many lines in that film? Is that a joke that I'm not sure about?
Oh, that must be the joke, because he does have just a few. A Sith Lord? He basically tells Anakin to sit and wait. And there's the debate. It's so cute. All you guys are like, hi, tagging everybody. Hi.
Like class, everyone's saying hello in the morning.
Hello. Hello there.
Hello there.
And there is a hit, crit, or reroll into a blank. Hit, crit. On. Taking a crit. What is the crit, Tim?
Crit is, I haven't looked. Damaged engine, which is not great. But not the worst, I guess, right now, considering what else you could have gotten.
Another couple damage through. On to Han.
Han's down to 5 health, I believe.
Down to 5.
Yeah, those bombs are about to get really scary.
Oh, just all sorts of not great for Maui here. What else can I say? But you're not welcome.
Really need the Dread to die here.
Lulo loses the shield upgrade, shield down. Yeah, I know that was a crucial part of recovering this engagement.
Not great, Bob.
It wasn't likely. So like to be fair, it wasn't something that was likely to happen.
Yeah.
But it would have helped a long way into making sure the resistance has a
certainly
chance
would
of this
have
game.
All right, so it looks like we have Scorch's ability here to roll an additional die at range 2 for 1.
What? That's not how Scorch works?
He pinged a red token and then rolled a third die, so I'm not sure what happened there, but
Wow.
or maybe I don't know. You tell me. I don't see these bomber pilots enough for me to like know off the top of my head what's going on.
Who, what, where, why? Does anyone know what just happened? I'm gonna go ask him because I'm confused.
Pim is going to infiltrate their game real quick just to see what's going on, just to stop them in their tracks and be like, hey, wait a minute. You're not supposed to do that. That's against the law and you should go to jail. So overtune modulators. Poor Jarek now swaps out those green tokens for 3 strains.
Range 1 shot into Poe.
Ah, got it.
And he optics it for...
That makes more sense. It was not the range 2 shot into Jarek. It was the range 1 shot into
Yeah,
Poe.
Jarek popping overtuned, I think, a little early and not being able to use it is
a little rough, right? When you say it's quite rough.
I've flown a lot of Jarek, and that's typically what happens with him when overtuned. It's just, here are your 3 strains. You can't spend any of these calculate tokens. Sorry. You either roll blanks on defense or all hits on offense or something like that.
Yep. In case you are just tuning in and saying, hello there. Welcome. I'm joined by Captain of the new Jedi Order, more like the old Jedi Order, because you guys have been around for a while, but rebranded
new boss,
a couple times.
Same as the old boss.
Yeah. Lou got fired. Lou had to go and make his own.
He wasn't doing so great, you know. We had to we had to take it back.
Lou is a treasure, though. He's such a treasure.
I love Lou.
He's such a treasure.
Hello there.
And young man's mistake got to hold it longer. That's true, Jarek. He popped it too early. I mean, he's getting old, you know. So I mean, when you get old, that happens to you. You pop a little early.
He
sometimes.
only lasted 10 seconds.
3 turns. He lasted 3 turns.
He lasted only 3 turns.
Here's a question for you, Nick. Have you played Dungeons and Dragons?
I actually do. I've played D&D with a coworker of mine who just got married, and I became good friends with him because he noticed how much of a dork I was and invited me to play D&D with him. So it's my first time ever playing D&D. So yes, the TLDR, yes.
So, in D&D, the concept of a turn of combat is roughly 6 seconds, right?
Yep.
That is the rough amount of time a turn of combat is. Do you think there's an equivalent time for X-Wing? How long is a turn of combat in X-Wing?
The average turn of combat, and
just like, not like player time, right? But like thematically, how long do you think it takes them to go through shooting and moving? Like, we talking like 10 seconds, 15? You know what I mean? Like, what's the equivalent?
I would say, I would think less than 10. Between like 7
think less than 10.
Yeah, I would say like 6 to 9 seconds. I don't know why I'm picking it. And I mean, not as a meme to say 69. I genuinely think that would be the range.
I think that's not incorrect. You're talking like that means it's a regular. So you're saying like a regular game, right?
Half a
regular
second? That's a little extreme.
Sherman goes quick. But that means, though, a game of X-Wing, if it moves a second, these things last 12 seconds in the universe. This is a 12-second.
A 12-second
dogfight. I don't think that doesn't feel quite right.
No, I definitely would think it lasts maybe a minute or two. I would think, but you're all like, actually, theoretically, if you follow my model for precision X-Wing gameplay mathematics, you'll actually only play and fight for 3 seconds.
It's really hard to like relate X-Wing the game to what we see in the films and everything, though, because X-Wing has some really weird mechanics that are hard to married to the actual concepts of like the ships in the universe and everything. Like, for example, X-Wing has 3 different ways to really measure measure speed of a ship, both in terms of the way it moves, its action bar, and its agility. Right? That's 3 different values that are all based on the speed of a ship. So like it's weird to like try to compare how ships are in X-Wing to how they are in lore.
We have I mean, I honestly, the way I think about it is just like, if it were thematic, it would be on the big screen. And what do we see in dogfights on the big screen with Star Wars and shows? It's more than 1 second. So I don't know. That's my.
Yeah, I mean, if you relate it back to World War II, right? That's what all of Star Wars comes back to. World War II and the Vietnam War.
Thank you for the impression. Nobody pointed out how great I looked doing that impression.
Oh, I wasn't watching the stream, you know.
Yeah, I know it's when you watch it back,
I'll have to go back and watch it, yeah.
I looked like an absolute dumbass, and it was great. It looked great.
How is that different than what you normally look like?
Oh, there it is, Pam! There it is, Pam!
There it is! Pam! If you relate it back to World War II, like, I mean, the shit, you know, the planes, I should say, in World War II are moving a lot, aren't moving the fastest, right? They're not going in like seconds, or at least in World War II films. That's what you have to compare it to, right? Compare it to World War II films, which is what the aesthetics of the dogfighting in Star Wars are based off of. Those ships are usually a little more lumbering. They go slower. The dogfights last minutes, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I don't think a round of X-Wing is a minute, but I think 10 to 20 seconds is probably what I would call it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just an interesting little thought.
Suck it, nerds.
Yeah, fuck your math.
Yeah, get out of here with that math. This ain't Moneyball. You ain't talking about getting on base.
No Billy Bean here, baby.
No Billy
Just
Bean.
Jad Bean.
Billy Bean. Just what? Just what? Chad Bean?
Jad Bean. That's Scorch's real name.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that he doesn't go by his real name, because I mean, there's no reason why he doesn't. You should go by Rusty.
Rusty.
Have you seen have you watched Curb Your Enthusiasm? I know I've asked you this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one where the doctor insists that he calls him Rusty, and he's like,
Rusty.
"That's not your name." He's like, "I just like it. That's what they call me." It's like, that's kind of weird.
That's the episode where Chris Martin shows up at the birthday party.
Rusty. Oh, that show is just so perfect.
God, Larry David's
fuck you.
amazing.
I'll see you tomorrow. I love that gif so much.
Just like all the different as he does are so good for gifs.
Yeah. It's like, hey Larry, it's been so long. Let's get some lunch. He's like, I don't think so.
Where they're the episode during the arc where they're trying to start a restaurant, right? And he eats the one guy's cooking. He's just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's Ted Danson's the one who's pushing that cook chef, and he's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he finds out they hire a chef who is bald, and he loves the fact that he's bald, but then he finds out that he wears a toupee, and he fires him right before opening night because he's like, you're ashamed of your baldness. Yes. I can't associate with you.
Oh man, what a great show.
When the episode where he hated the friend's daughter singing in the lounge almost made me pee my dude, and so he's like, all right, that's enough. He's like, okay, I think we're done. Yeah, Sammy, good old Sammy, or what's Jeff's wife's name in that? Susie.
God,
Susie is just brutal.
Susie. What a great actress.
Meanwhile, we've got ships moving as Lulo's got a decent shot lined up on the back there of Wilo right now.
Did we see bomblets? Are they hiding under Han? I don't see any.
I don't, and I think it's because of where the FOs are right now that was.
Yeah, but you can just use Dread's ability, right? Use them to re-roll if you're worried.
Yeah, it's still not a guarantee.
I don't know. I think I would have risked it there.
I think you're in a position to do it. Yeah.
I agree. I think Han's low enough that you can scare him pretty hard, and you knew the block was happening. Luckily, not on the rock.
Yeah, that's nice.
I didn't think he could get the straight in there without landing on a rock, but apparently he could.
Poe about to move, reveals his maneuver, and slams in the.
I have not really liked his Poe play this game.
The Poe play is poo play.
Poo play.
Still time, but yeah, Poe not doing the best Poe impression.
Lulo's got a great shot on Kylo here. I like the Yeager just slamming out of danger, but it does mean, another gun is kind of out of the fight.
Remember, everybody, we do have one more game after this. If you couldn't get enough of this incredible commentary, I'm afraid that at least one half of it will return. I don't know, Pim, if you're returning, but
it depends on when this ends. I've been staying up too late and really killing myself from that.
Yeah, well, you're only like 26, so I'm glad you're treating your life like you're 75 and need to go to bed.
I get up at 5 a.m. Nick.
You should consider not doing that.
My job requires I gotta be in early.
Talk to HR about human suffering.
No, I actually like my job a lot. It's a great job.
That's good, but still talk to
get
HR.
Up early for it. Still talk to HR.
Just
oh my god, our
chat.
HR person.
2 hits from Poe here into Wilo, it looks like.
We don't really have HR. Our HR person's a joke.
So is he Toby? Is like a Toby?
No. He's just like he's the king of we protect the company style of HR,
Oh, sure.
We are
Oh yeah,
he's
at all
very
costs.
good at deflecting.
Victim blaming, HR, all that good stuff. All right, let's
like the Kylo here.
Yeah, Han into Kylo.
I wouldn't say victim blaming as much as just deflecting,
Ugh,
really good
Han.
at deflecting. I think you spend both. I mean, who's shooting?
I
guess Gaelic as an
Wilo's
HLC.
like, thanks for the 3 agility. Appreciate it, fam.
It's still worth it to spend. If you do the math on it, it's always worth it to spend the focus. Unless it's, I guess, one hit, but like reds are better than greens. It's worth getting an extra hit.
Damn, Tecumseh.
Yeah.
Tecumseh not having enough credits. It turns out, folks, that the more you watch, the more credits you get. And unless you're betting it away, it means that you're not staring at my face long enough. You need to do that more.
Wouldn't want to stare at your face longer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. It's just so good. I got HBO just to watch that show. Like it's.
I was using my brother-in-law's HBO. I got to get that now that it changed to Max or whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it. I got to watch the new season of Winning Time. Have you watched that?
No.
It is the show about the LA Lakers dynasty in the 80s.
Oh.
It has 2 seasons out. I think the second season is currently coming out.
Is it a docu-series?
No, it's a dramatization.
Oh, it's a biopic type thing.
It's really good. It's not only about basketball, but it's also about like the business of it and everything. Like
range 3 from Lulo here. Oh, the blanks killing me. Still on one hole though. You can still take Dread off.
That's true.
And Dread is fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's
fine. Situation normal. How are you?
No, I highly recommend Winning Time. It's a great show, and it's HLC time. Oof. But it's both like if you don't like basketball, it's still about the business side of it too, and it's really still really good.
Oh, hello, Han.
Now what you want to see, Han?
Han taking it all
down to 1. Yikes.
Jammin seriously, time for a little redeem Jesse here. He can't keep getting away with this.
Using Kylo's ability to pop one of those crits up. He stopped him halfway through to pull one up. Oh, he did the first one, I see.
What was that
pulled
crit?
The first one up. It is a blinded on old Han there. Range 2 obstructed. Magpulse, probably? Does she have a lock? It does not appear to be so. Never mind. No lock. Hoping for a squiggle.
Hey. Congratulations, Han. You got the squiggle. And then Wilo's like, ha. Doesn't matter. 3 dice. Got bullseye here. It is obstructed. Oh. Predator reroll. Returns 2 hits. Needs natty evades.
Oh, well. Yeah, I guess that's true. May not be it, but probably it.
Needs some TTS magic. No, not quite. Han goes down. I thought Han was 5. He's 6, so he's not that 6, cheap. Yeah. But
no, he's the same price as some Han with a few less tools, few less loadout.
Fall asleep, come back, and Han is basically dead. Are you at all surprised?
Yeah, Han got lit up pretty quick.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like Maui was expecting, and I think Andrew pointed this out in the comments
aces.
too. He was expecting aces. He got a big old swarm of still kind of aces, to be fair.
Gotta love the kind of the bluff game that people like, the psychological warfare, not just just off the field, and then you get on the field and you're like, wait a minute, I thought you were gonna bring this. They're like, ha, bitch, that's not what I brought.
That's one of the things whenever we do like scouting of like teams and everything, where it's like, okay, let's try to figure out, just like that, Jammin's up 14-5. Oof. But when you scout, it's always like, it's good to scout, right? It's good to do that, but it's also like, keep it with a grain of salt that this is what they're usually fly, but don't tech too hard against it, as you don't want to end up in a situation where your list is just completely outclassed. I don't think Maui tech too hard against it here.
Yeah, I'd rather tech towards the scenario, because at least you know what that is going to be.
I think this is a decent list overall of like just generally. I think he just definitely wanted to see the lower ship count, more aces, that kind of list, and instead we got a little unlucky.
So guys, I'm actually going to remember this time. I have a season 3 challenge coin. I had one extra because Greg had sent me one and got lost, and then it finally showed up late. So I will, after this game, we'll be giving this away.
Hard to find.
Very hard to find.
Some season 3 players don't even have theirs yet. Greg had to order a secondary replacement shipment.
That's frustrating, man.
Man, what a bummer.
My Paul LaRue standardized Vader card still hasn't come in yet, and the bombers. He made some really cool artwork for the new bombers.
Did he?
This still hasn't come in. It's been almost 2 weeks. I'm like, huh.
Met him at Worlds this year. Nice guy.
He is. He's very, very nice guy. Very good at the game, and he's also super talented.
Yeah.
Good combo.
Man, I sat and watched him. I got to watch most of the game he played against the Rebel player that went to top 8 with the that weird Rebel swarm of Kraken and Dutch and Wes and all that stuff. And that game, man, the B-Wings on the Rebel side just didn't not roll evades. It was crazy. Like, I swear every time it was just B-Wing, just natty evade. 2 dice, 2 evades. Just crazy.
Oh, Leo is here. Oh, cat. Oh, we have a cat?
Yes, Mario. Mario was his name. What was his last name? Mario, he was Spanish, I believe, right?
For a second, you're like, oh, that cat. Your cat's name is Mario. I'm like, that,
No. The player. No.
Hello. Hold on, where are you going? Don't go.
Man, we were gone for Mario Jimenez. They're a cute bender. We were gone for 10 days last week and the week before, and my cat is still not over us leaving her for 10 days.
Yeah. Cats
she is so clean.
A little bit of a grudge. I just took them to the vet, and they were like, it took a couple hours, and then they warmed back up to me again.
Yeah, Nora's got to go, and she hates the carrier so much.
Yeah.
She I gotta put oven mitts on when I put her in her carrier because she will claw the hell out of my arms, and has before.
You had to camp them 2 matches in a row. Yeah. Barcelona is from Fiesta Terracotta. Lo siento. Remember that one, Curb episode, where they all have different speech impediments because like one chipped their tooth, one has a swollen tongue. It's so bad. Are you mocking us? No, lo siento.
The Curb and Always Sunny's ability to commit to a bit and turn it into a really great joke by the end of the episode is very good.
I think Always Sunny does this too, but Curb is almost entirely improvised, which is even more impressive.
Is it really?
They improv the hell out of those scenes. It's really good.
There's an episode this season from Always Sunny. You've heard of the whole the chess quote unquote scandal about the people cheating via butt plug.
Oh yes.
The Always Sunny episode that paired lampoons that astounded me about how funny it was. I didn't halfway through the episode you start realizing what they're doing and you're like, oh my god, this is the funniest. This is the funniest thing.
I never got into that show. And isn't for any reason. I just didn't watch it. I should. Yeah. That's on HBO too, isn't it?
No, it's FX. It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. Yeah. I do have Hulu.
Hulu no ads is going up
after a bloody cold night. Yeah, Dredd is good for Dredd. He's on 1 hole.
No, Dredd's doing what he needs to right now. He's running. The bombers still haven't dropped any bombs, which is shocking to me. But I guess,
Maybe
Jammin's like, I'm already ahead.
Yeah, he's like playing the mercy card.
Well, I think it's not
Please,
mercy. I think it's just like he doesn't want to risk those
Yeah.
FOs, right? He knows the resistance chance to come back is they have to start popping FOs, and he's like, if I don't self-damage myself, it's a lot harder.
Yeah. This is the best. Dread doing a little bing, bing, bye-bye.
Bye, bing, ding, bye-bye.
And another block on Poe. Poe has just been so ineffective today about getting those
brutal
double mods off. I mean, that's really not what you want to see.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you just kind of just feel just uncomfortable with how poorly the game has gone for one of the players. It's just like, that would suck to be. It would suck to be in Maui's position right now. It's not over, but it feels like it.
The nice thing is Maui's an experienced player, right? Like he's done this before. He's had these games.
I got my ass spanked before.
Yeah. I think right now the thing you can take away is he's, I think he can learn from this and just look back and be like, okay, I shouldn't have. Maybe pushing Poe through that lane was a bad call. I should have gone more to the outside. Whatever.
Right.
He can learn from this game.
Yeah, Maui will be fine.
I don't think he's gonna. He doesn't usually walk away feeling. I don't want to speak for him. He seems to not walk away from games feeling too bad either, which is good.
Important. 2 hits from Poe at the range 2, and 2 of 8. Jammin just like shaking him off.
That is the thing about these FOs. They can just do that. They can just be like, actually, I don't want to take damage. Thanks. And then you're just pushing. You're slamming your head against the brick wall the whole game, hoping you get something through.
Optics for 2.
Yeah. Or midnight, I think. Shield on Poe?
Or
Shield
that was midnight shot. Yeah, that makes.
Yeah, midnight to Poe. Poe still doesn't use any proton torpedoes, man. That's so. Ugh.
That's a really bad feeling when you're not firing your torpedoes.
Now Poe is the moment in Rise of Skywalker when, like, before the civilian fleet shows up, right? And he's just like, Snap just died. He's looking really sad,
Yeah.
That's where he's at right
Snap
now.
died in the ship that he didn't get in. Yeah. The continuity errors in that movie are like laughably bad.
Does he die in an A-Wing? He dies in an X-Wing, right?
He dies in X-Wing, but you see him literally get his helmet tossed right in front of an A-Wing that he's about to get into. Like, there is not an ambiguous that, like, it could be somebody else. It's like, no.
Well, I remember he's in an A-Wing in the Lego set.
Yeah, it's like, what? I think even Lego thought that he was in an A-Wing.
Well, it's like the same thing with, like, yeah, man, yeah, the continuity, man. It's just it's fine.
It's like, the Resistance fleet is approaching. What should we do? Fire ion cannons. Proceeds to fire turbo lasers, like, everywhere. It's like, what is happening?
They were clearly catching the check on that last one.
Oh.
Some people, I think,
anybody that likes that movie probably should go to prison for a while.
No,
sorry,
that's not true.
sorry. I mean, this like maybe a few days, just like
people can like bad things. You liked the Cubs for years.
Oh yeah, well, I probably should go to prison for liking the Cubs. My dad should. It's his fault.
Yeah, that's why
he lived a long life. I don't think he should suffer in prison. I think it's too late. I think
it's too late for him. You gotta commit.
Yeah, I have to take the L on that one.
Yeah, it's a Mulan scenario. You have to go take your father's penance.
Can you imagine though being like, oh, as supreme leader of this country, if anybody likes The Last Jedi, you're going to prison. It's a felony.
That's the future liberals want. That's the future liberals want, Nick.
Yeah. If it ain't the pronouns, I swear.
If you liked what was that movie from the summer? What the hell is it called? The Sound of Freedom. If you like The Sound of Freedom, you're going to jail. That's
going
what
to jail.
Joe
Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Believe it or not, jail. Straight to jail.
Yes, is that too? Jail.
Oh, oh my God, you went to prison for 2 years? Yeah. And you got innocent in the end of process. That's a long time to be in jail.
Holy shit.
That's a wild anecdote.
Did you get any kind of like remuneration for that? Did they say we're sorry?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We got it wrong. I didn't think it was a joke. No joke in here about that, and that's wild. The whole tone of this conversation is like turned, and there's like, whoa.
Whoa, yeah. It's hardcore.
All right, so might be the last round. Is it 17-6?
I think FO can reasonably cap 3. Kylo just straights, like 5 straights here, gets that one on the side. Dread gets the one up he just turns, gets that one, and then Gaelic gets the one he's at, and you get 3. I think that's the game FO are
That
playing.
will be a good old how you say GG.
Little crossroads.
What about?
Yeah, I think this is probably the end of the game for FO. I don't think Resistance can do much right now. Maui's job is to try to score as many points as he can. Jarrett could potentially like slam to there, maybe. I don't know. That's tough. Try to slam and deny Kylo 1 point.
You know what?
buys
You
another
know
turn to
what?
score.
Jammin did. He made Maui dread the day that he would ever thought he'd defeat Ketaris foxes.
I'm still surprised we haven't seen any bomb drops.
He's probably so hungry after this win that he could order 66 burgers.
66 burgers, 66 fries.
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 taters, 55 pancakes. The most impressive part about that sketch is that the cashier is on it, like is adding that shit on as fast as he's saying it.
Yeah.
Oh brother, this guy sucks.
Yeah, Kylo just zooming, taking the evade. Jarrett could, if he 2 straights, I don't even think that gets you there. I think you're just kind of stuck. Yeah.
Give him the hook on my own stream? On my own stream? No way.
Dang. Little boost rotate out of Lulo. He needs a stress for that.
Can you imagine interrupting their game to tell him that right now? That would be.
You just
Oh my god.
Stress for Lulo.
Just incapable of reading the room. Yeah, you need to stress on Lulo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lulo should be stressed. And we got a little.
I mean, Lulo wants to be
debris
fair.
hit.
Lulo wants to be stressed right now. Lulo wants to
Midnight.
get that extra die.
Midnight is a shield down.
Midnight doesn't care.
Yeah, right.
Midnight checked out. Midnight's like, whatever. Just gonna casually stroll towards
Has
this
Poe
rock.
cleared a maneuver since the first round?
Not since the first round. Poe has been, like,
Absolutely brutal.
yeah, Poe has been in a. Again, I think his pathing. He just tried to. As much as I hate to say it, he should have turned out that turn he turned in, and it would have taken you 2 turns to get around, but you would have gotten a freaking torpedo off. Maui using her ability and the evade to just deny Maui any sort of like moral victory.
Brutal. Oh, Jammin. Lula with the haymaker. Downtown range 3
From
instructed.
downtown.
From downtown.
All right,
Hey,
you
rolled paint.
Just need Kylo to blank, and you can do 1 damage. Negative.
Next matchup
I don't know.
is Scum versus Scum. We've got the Battle of the Michaels. We've got Michael Shorty versus Michael Shively, as I finally realized that I had been pronouncing his name incorrectly for a long time.
Oh, Jarek's just going for crit right now. There you go. Oh, he's just trying to keep them focused for defense, I see. Gets 2 through. Doesn't do much, but you get it. That's crazy, Fred. Manfred?
Yeah,
Manfred?
Fred.
I'm gonna
Just
go
call him
Manfred.
Fred. Yeah, I wouldn't call him
Manfred.
Fred.
I just saw Fred in the middle of that, so I'm like, Fred.
Hey, Fred.
That is crazy. That's a
No,
crazy
you
story,
don't have
man.
to apologize. Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah. I'm
No need to
definitely interesting.
apologize.
So like, don't apologize for that. But this may be a 4-point turn for FO. Manfred. Okay, cool. Yeah, my brain just saw Fred, and that's the first thing I read. Didn't mean to land there, but
mercifully, the game ends 21-7.